Alright, so I came across these 4 different Dreamcast custom editions, and I must say they were untested, didn't pay a lot for it, but the question remains, is it any good for the money? Okay, so... Oh crap, oh crap, oh crap! Hey, welcome back to the channel. It's awesome that you're tuning in. So I came across a pile of different custom painted, let's say Sega Dreamcast for not a lot of money. Did I buy junk, or is it actually worth something? But why did I pick it up beside the price point? 4 Dreamcast for €99 is a bargain. But I noticed a couple of things. So first thing is like, they came very interesting weird colors I personally never seen before. So another thing is like, he sold it to me that he didn't test the systems. So the question remains, are these things even working? Okay, so I don't know what happened over here, but they didn't give this thing a complete paint job. Oh, they basically like painted over the bar code over there, but I must say the first impression, they don't really look that bad. So let's take a close look at the other ones. We do have like a purple one. It comes with a blue version. We did like pack it up very nicely. And we do get ourselves the green version. So let's unwrap it all and let's see what we're going to get. Oh, it even sent me an extra controller. Always handy. And it even came like I lost the Sega controller. Okay, so let's take a close look at the systems. And are they even working? So... Okay, so I must say that I was surprised to see like how they were looking, and from the picture I already knew they did something to it. Like absolutely they repainted it. I was showing you like close up. The paint job in general is not really bad, but it's just the way how they sometimes made it. So let's take a close look at the purple one first. Okay, the purple one that had like a completely repaint, and I mean with complete, it's like also the buttons, they basically like removed it and didn't give it a paint job. I must say, and overall it looks very nice. Even at the front they did this, and I found it a little bit of bummer they didn't put the extra effort or like removing the stickers or basically putting some tape over it. Yeah, that's a little bummer, because I know if I'm going to remove these, you will see the original white color again. I don't know if I can remove the... Oh. You know, remove the freaking modem I wanted to say. Even they did remove it. Here you can see like the original white color. So the paint job, you know, like that, like the things I found a little bit of a bummer they did it. But again, like I don't know if it's going to be even working. We can open it up. Another thing that we need to check out is like the supports for the disc. You know, like this feels like absolutely like sandpaper, so we need to fix that. We need to remove it, clean it. We need to do something with it before we even go to put a disc in to check it out. So that is something that we're going to take a close look at it. So the blue one, blue is my favorite color, but unfortunately it does get some damage. Oh man, it does have some damage over here at the right top. A little bit of bummer, but here you can see like they didn't paint all of it, or they did paint. Yeah, they did paint it. Like they didn't just give it a white color. I must say it looks way better than the most of the times these weird yellow looking canary yellow looking like systems. But I must say like I really like it. It looks very cool. Okay, so the green one does have the same problem with the sandpaper like pads over here. So I don't know, there was a mispaint or something in here. So they really didn't like use a great sandpaper or something like that, because there is a lot of like problems with the paint job on the inside. But in overall, beside we need to clean it up. It looks kind of cool. I don't know if they remove it. I think they did remove the label, but they didn't like get rid of the residue of the freaking tape or tape the label. Also here they did an okay paint job. You know, they just painted the outside. You know, like oh man, why didn't they paint the inside? But again, let's power it on later on. Let's see what we can do with this. And now the red one, because that is a different story. Yeah, so why is this a different story? So what I find interesting, there were no like pads, so I'm guessing they removed it, or this is just a completely different version or model. But you can see like there's a lot of dust in here, so I think this cover or this cover has been open for a very long time. The button is stuck, so we need to open it up before we can even do anything with it. Same story, they didn't even remove the freaking label in here. So yeah, I think it's time to fix these things just to test it out, and let's see if we can even like make them like worth the money. Because if I can fix them, like 99 freaking euro for 4 Dreamcast, it's absolutely a bargain. And it even came with a controller. But is this thing worth it? Yeah, the controller. That's a different story. I must give them some extra credits. I think they just, yeah, like baited this for like display purpose, but the paint job is awful. Look at this. There's even some paint on the trigger. I think they did disassemble the joystick, but the joystick doesn't really look that bad. But you know, I don't really know what to think of this. So can we just fix this controller? I don't know, man. We can also test it out. Even there is even like some freaking paint on the cable itself. Okay, so let's take a closer look at the red one, just to see what happens in here. So I've double checked it. So they are all PAL systems, so they sent me like in Japanese edition. Okay, so oh crap! Oh crap! Oh crap! But this is just a very clear story. So the seller did send me some weird looking Dreamcast, but not only the inside, it's going to be different than our typical Sega Dreamcast. So what do I mean with this? Like, I'm living in the PAL region, so this means normally I can just plug it in and use it. I wasn't trying to do this. There we go. So what we need to do is remove the modem itself. Alright, so the freaking modem have been removed. The next thing that we need to do is remove all of the Parkers. Here's number 1, number 2, let's see, number 3. That one is really tighten up. And number 4. Alright, so let's turn it around and let's open it up. I just needed to open it up because the freaking cover, it's not closing simply because of the buttons getting stuck sometimes. So that is another issue that we need to resolve. So another thing I also noticed with this version, we are missing out some components. That these devices are not original, that's just a fact. But what is going on in the inside? So I just powered it on, it's my mistake. I could like also open it up and double check it, but I didn't expect they were giving me like completely different internal parts. Yeah, so this is absolutely a different story. That we have like custom painted like cases, that is just a fact, and the paint job, it's okay, they did some mistakes here and there. But when it comes to the components, there we do get like a different story. I'm living in the PAL region, so you would not expect that getting like different kind of regions here. So the first problem I'm already like seeing that we do have like some cases have some issues with the paint job with sticky like freaking buttons. So that is something we need to fix. Alright, so another problem I've noticed that not only the power supplies are only 110 volts and we're not using 110 volts here. Another thing is like we're missing out the ribbon cable. So that makes me wonder like what the hell is going on? Why is this ribbon cable missing from the controller ports? So that's another thing I wanted to test out. Besides that, the red one over here had like a lot of dust in the inside. We just need to double check and we're going to clean the lenses just to see if we do have like some lenses that are even working. Another thing is like what kind of regions are these? Like they're not PAL, so are they from Japan, these systems, or are they basically from the US? So it's a quite interesting story. I was looking in my storage space, but unfortunately I don't have an original PAL, or better said 230 volts power supply. So what we're going to try out with this version, we're going to use the modification called the Retro PSU mod. There are a couple of different versions out there. I think there's even like an old version, doesn't even matter. We're going to use this one testing out the system, if it's going to be booting up and if you're going to have like the working laser, or are we going to upgrade it with a GDMU anyways. Another problem I've noticed, besides like missing a ribbon cable, is that we don't have the cooling element. So this is going to be quite difficult to find it maybe. So we're going to look up some spare parts. But first what we're going to do is boot them all up and just see if they're working. Okay, so the first test I wanted to try out the purple one. Let's boot it up, everything has been connected. I'm using my original controller, simply because the one that came with it is absolutely garbage. So it seems to be this one comes from Japan. So in Japanese region. Alright, so this is a quite interesting one, just to see if we can boot up the game. I do have one particular game I can use. Just let's see if it's going to be booting up. Let's see, let's test the laser unit. The fan also works, so it does a great thing. Let's hold the tiny switch over here. You can see like it tries to boot up. It doesn't do anything. So the only thing we can do now is try to clean it up, the laser units, to see if we can find any improvement here. But that's the first thing I'm going to try out. I understand when it comes to these laser units, you can tweak them. That's what I wanted to do is like basically clean them up with a tip itself. Like the laser unit isn't doing anything, so there cannot be any more harm done. But just clean it up a little bit, pure alcohol. and just see if this helps out. I think it's a small chance that it will work, but it doesn't matter. Let's boot it up again, let's try it. Alright, let's try it again. But you can see the disc stops spinning and nothing works. So yeah, unfortunate with this purple version, the disc or the laser unit is absolutely garbage. It doesn't work. So it's a little bit of a bummer. Let's boot it up. Let's try it again in the main menu. But that's more like a common problem with these laser units. So I can find a replacement if I want to, or I can just replace it with a GDMU. Let's try the next one. Alright, so removing this is going to be super easy. You just need to remove 2 screws, one over here. Always be very, very careful when it comes to capacitor. It can always hold a charge. Alright, this thing has been connected for a long time. Let's remove the plug over here. And let's remove the final screw. Alright, let's go. Didn't show you before. It's super easy to replace. The only difficult thing is like you need to lift it over here from the pins. I'm not going to use the freaking power supply anyway. Alright. Let's see if I can try to lift it up. It's always quite challenging. Alright, this clip. Don't forget to use the clip too. Alright. There we go. But the main problem with all of these power supplies, they are like 100 volts, so we cannot use them whatsoever. So I think I'm going to put them in the trash can. Even they are still working because not all of them have been having exploded capacitors. It's more like the main capacitor over here will explode and will leave a lot of horrible smoke and smell. Alright, so let's power on the second one. I entered the ribbon cable over here. I tried to power it on, but nothing works. So the other thing I did was the following. Okay, so with this Dreamcast I tried to power it on, but nothing seems to be working. I also replaced the PCB at the front for the controllers with another ribbon cable, and even like entered a fan over here, but nothing seems to be working from this point on. So I'm guessing there is something else wrong with this bloody thing. I'm presuming that it's going to be that. Later on off camera I will see if we can get it to work, and maybe we can salvage the disk drive and put it on the one that didn't work with the other one. Alright, so let's remove this unit from the broken mainboard, or we're assuming that it's going to be broken. But I just want to double check if we can reuse the drive itself. So let's grab the other one. I think it's the purple one that didn't have a working GD-ROM drive. So we can basically like salvage one particular like drive and maybe make 3 working Dreamcast Japanese versions. Alright, so let's plug this bad boy in. And let's see if we can manage to save 3 of them. And I must say, like, I do have like second doubt. I will test some more just to see if we can like get all of these things to work. And yeah, is it a good idea, or shall we just replace the optical drives for just an SD card? Alright, so basically attempt number 2. Let's see if we can revive this drive. Let's boot it up for the first time. Okay, it seems to be working. Great. So maybe the main board is that from the different one, but we can manage to fix the other one. I have lost my game. Oh, there it is. Alright. Oof. Okay, don't know what's going on in here, but doesn't sound great. Okay. So the weird thing is that you feel the bearings are spinning just freely like the other ones, but it's more like the laser unit has some problems. Alright, so let's power on the third one. It's turning on, so that is a good thing. We can see that it's having signal output. Next step we're going to do, plug in the controller just to see if the controller port works. Alright, amazing. Alright, so Everything seems to be working fine, including the fan. So it's the same story here like the previous one. It's going to be in Japanese system. So what we're going to do is put in the game. And let's see if we can boot it up. Alright. This time we do have more movement in the laser. And it seems to be that we do have a success. So this can be a very interesting Dreamcast to basically repair or model cells. Did I speak too soon? Okay, with the hood opening, this thing sounds like a freaking vacuum cleaner. Alright. Let's see if it speaks friendly without any hassle. There's, by the way, the only one without that weird looking sandpaper things on it. Alright, let's close it. Let's see. Man, this thing sounds really loud. It's quite interesting to see that this has like these completely different cooling elements. Alright, boots up. Maybe it was the finger not holding the lever back that great.
Capcom versus SNK. Millennium Fight 2000.
This is, by the way, one of my first games that I actually played, besides Sonic Adventure 2. Alright, so let's test a little bit more. Let's jump in game. Alright, it's safe to say that the blue version, just going to say the blue Dreamcast, seems to be working. Okay, that's great. So we do have one that's absolutely like in great condition, working out of the box. No, don't turn on. Alright, here goes nothing. Let's put in the disc. Can it spin freely? No, it can't. There's something wrong. There it is. Alright, it can spin freely. Let's close it. Try to load up now. Let's see if my finger is not working right. Because I find it kind of strange that it boots up and it just basically stopped working. So I just want to make sure. So putting the hook up, also it's a little bit more safer to do so. Alright, so let's try this version. The third one, or better said, the red Dreamcast, we're just going to call it. Everything seems to be working just fine. After the video, we'll leave it on for quite a long time just to see. So normal, I'm not really buying stuff like this, but I just wanted to take the gamble. Is it worth picking up for the money? So maybe on the video or like from a distance, these things look pretty damn cool. But I can tell you, it's like when you're looking closely, yeah, the paint job, some parts are great, but some are just freaking awful. So basically these were like a kind of a Frankenstein Sega Dreamcast, because they were using Paul shells. And yeah, we do have like 2 different versions. And yeah, the inside we do have like 110 volts like power supplies. Man, what a mess. So in general, when you're looking at what I paid for it, 99 euros, absolutely a bargain, even though we have like 2 working Sega Dreamcast Japanese versions. I need to upgrade them with a different PCU from AliExpress. That's something I will do. Maybe I will like remove all of the drives and put some GDMUs in it. Don't know for sure. Maybe in the future we can make a video about it. Let me know in the comments what do you want to see. But I thank you for watching. Consider subscribing, hit that little bell, become a Wicked family, and it will be great to see you in the next video.